Does someone have a question they would like?
Hi, do you think past, now, and future will be one line or something all connect, or what do you think?
What is the future going to bring?
No, I mean, we are now, right? Present, but past and future, I feel a connection between, of course, past and now and future. I feel like more one line or circle kind of.
The future is completely dependent upon what you do now. If you build strong inner life now, if you grow now, if you learn to live your life in the moment, in the present, that will take care of the future. Whatever you will become depends upon what you do today, this moment. So my suggestion is forget about the future. Just work on yourself, grow, build a strong inner life, and have projected plans. But at the same time, don't live in the dream of what tomorrow is going to bring, because tomorrow is not going to bring anything close to what you dream it's supposed to bring. Work on the now, work on the present, build yourself in the present, and then tomorrow will take care of itself. It really will. I mean, because whatever we are today, we will be in the future. But if we change today and grow today, it means the future is going to change.
Right.
If we have a vision in our life and we work to build ourselves to get strong enough to accomplish, that vision, you understand, then it's all possible. But if we sit around thinking about, well, this is what the future is going to bring, it's just a waste of time.
I know.
So the whole future depends upon what we do in the present.
Right.
How we truly invest our energy in our life in this moment. That will determine the future. I mean, there really isn't a future. I mean, the only thing that truly exists is this moment.
Right.
Past doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. It's finished. It's like a shadow. Right. The future hasn't come yet.
Right.
Future is today becoming tomorrow. And the only thing we forget about is the present, this moment, living our lives in the moment, developing ourselves in the now. And that kind of inner determination and inner growth will take care of the future. And then you stop worrying about what the future is going to bring, You don't worry about it because you're living in this moment. And frankly, the present contains everything that is, everything that was, and everything that will be. It's all contained in the present. And one of the reasons we miss this is we spend so much time in our heads thinking about the future. When we're kids, what will we become when we grow up? When we're adults, what's going to happen? And, in 5, I mean, it's all devoting time and energy to illusion instead of what are we going to do about our lives in this moment? How are we going to build ourselves? How are we going to grow? What are we going to learn? How are we going to invest our energy and develop a system inside that is strong enough to keep us living in the moment? And once we can live in the moment, the future is not a problem. We don't think about the future. We just continue to grow in the moment. And the future just takes care of itself. Mostly because the future is just an illusion.
Yes.
It's an illusion. Doesn't exist except in people's heads.
Right.
You know? And in our heads, there's all this worry about what. I mean, I once told you, I wrote a book years and years ago called The Duchies. It became another book called Three Rivers. And it's about a young kid, 12 years old, growing up in the South Bronx, in the neighborhood I lived in the South Bronx, you know, and his parents are driving him crazy, like my parents drove me crazy. You know, you got to worry about how your life is going to be when you're 30 years old and 30 years old, and you better get, you know. Anyway, he has this crazy Uncle George who is completely irreverent and has no conception about the way the world is supposed to be. And he tells the parents, he said, look, let him be a successful 12-year-old. If he's a successful 12-year-old, I guarantee he'll be a successful 30-year-old. Mm-hmm. Stop making this kid crazy with worrying about what his future is going to bring. Mm-hmm. Now, what does it mean to be a successful 12-year-old? You're successful in school, you do the job you're supposed to do when you're 12 years old. And learning to like oneself and learning to live one's life in the moment. And we're no different. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many times do you read in all these philosophic and, like Ram Dass, be here now. That other guy, I always forget his name, The Power of Now. I mean, they've written all these books about now. And I think, there's a lot of wisdom in that. They don't tell you how to get there and do it, but they write, we have to live in the now.
Eckhart Tolle.
Japanese say imanaka. That's very special words about live in the moment.
Living in the moment. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like to ask. And just an addendum to this, as soon as we get back into our heads, there's this ping pong match between the past and the present and the future. As soon as we get into our heads, we begin to project the fear, the insecurity, what we're going to become, what life is going to, will we have money, will we have this, instead of working in the moment to build a life that makes all of these things possible.
So wise.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Hi, I had a question. Where are you? Right. I've heard some people talk about the solar plexus as a chakra above the navel, but I've never heard you mention it. Is there a reason for that?
But there's no reason, because the 7 basic ones are the one I use. And if you open the chakra in the hara, right below the navel, the solar plexus will open. It opens. And the real foundation in a person is in the hara, in that chakra right below the navel. And I'm trying to get people to realize how important it is to be rooted inside themselves. And if you are focused there, if your mind, the solar plexus will just open. It'll just open. The real key to this is getting focused in the area where a person is rooted. where they have foundation, where the real inner strength is, the power to get the solar plexus open, to get the heart chakra open, to get the throat open, to quiet the mind. It's directly in the hara, right below the solar plexus. That chakra makes it all possible. And if that chakra is not open, you know, the rest of our system is going to be completely dysfunctional. Not completely dysfunctional, but pretty dysfunctional. So what I'm trying to teach you all and anyone who comes to study Rudy's work is the basic thing he taught me. Get rooted, build the foundation. You build the foundation, and then all the other chakras will begin to work. So yes, there's an energy center in the solar plexus. But just focusing there is not going to give you that rootedness. Focusing in the hara will. That is the chi. That's where the chi is. The power to truly build a chakra system inside. They can get the heart open, get the throat open, the mind. Really build an enlightened person. I mean, there's chakras in the palms of the hands and the fingertips and, you know, in the soles of the feet and the toes. There are chakras all over the body. I mean, this is the very core of Rudy's work. Yes, really, I mean it. I don't know what other people teach. I don't really care. But the core of his work is building foundations so that you can truly develop an entire chakra system. Because without the rootedness and the foundation, there's nothing, there's dysfunction inside. You can spend all your time and your life focusing on the heart, but if there's no roots, there's no grounding. Even a flower needs to have a stem and roots to grow. You know, as I always say, you want to build a house, you got to have a foundation. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I must admit it upsets me when I hear the kind of stuff people teach. Focus on the third eye, focus just in the heart. You know, listen, just spend, 45 minutes listening to your breathing. It's just going to space people out. I mean, great athletes, when they're in that zone, they're right in the hara. Dancers, musicians, actors, people in the arts, when it really is creative, it just flows through them because they are grounded inside, they're centered inside. I mean, when I was in business, I ran my business from the hara. It really did. Gave me the strength to deal with all the bullshit you had to deal with when you're in business. And to trust the moment. And to trust my intuition. And the ultimate thing we want is to keep the heart open. That's what we all want. We want love. I mean, I always say it, happy people are enlightened people. God is love. We want to keep our hearts open, but how does the heart stay open if there's no grounding inside? I can't, how many tell you, when I was a young, crazy kid, beginning to study, how many times I heard him talk about this. I finally penetrated what he was talking about. I said, okay, this works. I better do it. And it transformed my life, transformed my life. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? Okay. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Even if we don't have children, we're all in one way or another a mother, you know? It's really a part of every human being. Giving, receiving, nurturing, loving, unconditionally. So happy Mother's Day. God bless you all.
Yes, Lord. Oh, yes.
Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be a class tomorrow evening. And once again, I say it 1,000 times, I'll say it 1,001 times. Thank you, all of you. God bless you all. Your presence is a joy in my life and, you know, and enabling me to do inner work that I'm beginning to find to be something very precious and extraordinary. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Good night. Thank you.